How's it going, creeps? Welcome back to Cinema Creep. If you're new here, my name is Drucifer, and this is the Friday Night Creep Show. Cinema Creep is a place where we talk about all things vile, disgusting, and downright terrifying in the world of horror cinema. And if you were here a little bit earlier, the stream was supposed to start at 11:15 and got shut off because of the internet. Like I said in chat, perfect timing for the internet to crap out on me. I was getting an upload speed of like 0.02 megabytes per second. And if you're somebody that streams or just somebody that knows stuff, then you know that most definitely will not work. So hopefully I got it sorted now. Restarted the modem and a bunch of other stuff, and not totally sure if that was the problem, but we're getting decent enough speeds right now. So could have something to do with the weather. Been getting crazy weather, crazy windy, all types of stuff out there happening. So maybe that's what it was. No clue. Nick, Frank, glad you guys made your way back.
Hail to the king, baby.
Nick, I did see that you bought another mug today. You, sir, are awesome. So like I said, once you bought your ninth, I'm gonna send you a 1 of 1 mug. So I will send you a message over Patreon or something like that once I send it out. But I'm gonna get to work on that. It'll probably take me a little bit, so probably next week to get it designed up and get it sent out and sent over to you. But you should have it relatively soon. And I really, really appreciate all the support, Nick. Not only does it make this channel feel official, it just makes me feel appreciated, and I really, really appreciate that. To you and anybody that comes and hangs out, even if you don't spend a dollar, can't spend a dollar, that is freaking amazing as well. Your time and attention is just as gnarly. And anybody that subscribes to the Patreon, I'm figuring out some things for the channel to make it a little bit more special. So shout out to the Patreons. They're scrolling around at the bottom of the screen there. All of you guys are awesome. I did send out stickers to anybody that is part of the Patreon. Nick, I'm going to send you a sticker as well. I know you are part of the Patreon, but the stickers were for people that are on one of the paid tiers of the patrons, but I'm going to send you one when I send you your mug, because you, sir, have bought a ton of shit. And so Cinema Creep stickers, if you're part of one of the channel patrons, if you have not yet sent me your address that you would like this sent to you, send it, because I've sent out a couple of these already. And people have got them, and they've hit me back and said that they are sick. So if you want one of those and you're part of the Patreon, let me know, and I'll send you one out. Other than that, guys, really, really appreciate y'all coming back. I know that it's kind of aggravating when the stream is supposed to start at a certain time, doesn't start. I have to shut it down, restart it. It's a huge pain to me as well, But nevertheless, we will persevere. So shout out to you guys. If any of you guys can guess what is on the TV back here tonight, if you're new here to the Cinema Creep stream, this is a game that we play. Normally Nick, Jet, or Frank get it right, and I'm curious to see if they get this one. It is not a rare movie. I think this is just the previews right now. It is not a rare movie by any means that we're playing tonight, but it is a movie that you may not be thinking that I would have on screen back there. It is a movie that I enjoy, and I've talked about before on the channel. So, with that said, guess it if you can. But it's getting a little atmospheric here in the Cinema Creep studio, because tonight we are watching a movie called Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks from 1974. So, has anybody out there in chat seen this movie? I have yet to ever see this, and I'm stoked on it. Frank, Nick, anybody else out there? Have you seen Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks. Oh, man. So other than that, did anybody else watch The Mutilator, which was our Cinema Creep film of the week? And has anybody else seen anything else over the last couple of days that you want to talk about? So right before the stream tonight, me and my wife watched Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. And I gotta say, anybody out there seen it in chat yet? So you haven't seen this one, Frank. Nick hasn't seen this one. Gnarly. Okay, good. So it'll be a first for all of us. Jet was here earlier, so hopefully Jet will come back. And I'm curious to see if Jet has seen this. Did that just say the movie title on TV back there? Yeah, so I watched Nosferatu before stream, and I gotta say that I have some opinions on it. Now, I'm going to make a video for the channel. You guys know this was a big one for me. This is one of the movies that I was most excited about, and I had already slated it probably as my top movie of 2024. Obviously, I didn't watch it till today, so into 2025. I'm not sure if it was my top 2024 movie, though. Frank, so how did you feel about Nosferatu? Nick? I would watch it. I think Amazon Prime has it for rent right now for $20, or you can buy the digital for $25. I just went ahead and bought the digital for $25 because if it's going to be a $5 difference between renting and owning, I'm going to just own, So, Frank, interesting that you say that. I gotta say, it was not as gnarly as I wanted it to be. I was not blown away. Like, it was a good movie by all accounts, right? But I was not blown away by it. I really, really thought it was gonna blow my fucking socks off and then, like, I don't know, hit me with a truck. I thought I was just gonna be floored by this damn movie. Like I said, it was not bad. And I'm not going to spoil it here. I'll make a video about it, talking more in depth. But it did have 4 Oscar nominations. What was it nominated for? Does anybody know? Let's look it up. All right, here we go. So here's Nosferatu Awards. 31 wins and 160 nominations. I'm not going to read through all of these. Jaron Blaschke, cinematographer. This guy has worked on all of Robert Eggers' work so far. This dude is awesome, though. I'll say the cinematography was top notch. Top freaking notch. That guy is amazing. Best screenplay adaptation, Robert Eggers. Let's see if there's any other big ones. Looks like a whole lot of screenplay awards. Nicholas Hoult, Irish Performer of the Year. Let's see what else we got. Best Picture. Best Costume Design. The costumes were pretty sick. The costuming was really good. Yeah, so there's a whole lot on here. So it's won a lot. It's been nominated a whole lot. So Frank has his issues with it. It was cool, like I said, I just really, really wanted it to blow my socks off, and it did not do that, but it was good. It was good. I will tell you this little tidbit that I still hold The Substance as my 2024 film of the year. So, I've been really, really slow on getting regular videos out for the channel. Trying to find time to do that and live stream and do a couple other live things has been kicking my ass. But 2025, the year I get it in check. So we'll figure it out. You'll see me reviewing movies from last year. You'll see me reviewing all kinds of shit that I should have already had out, but, you'll see stuff coming. And I'm also thinking maybe, and I mentioned this one time on stream, maybe I should just do trailer trash videos in live stream format. That would be a lot easier to do, maybe. So, like, as they come out, just turn on live. It could be a random Wednesday afternoon, Tuesday night, whatever the case may be, Thursday morning, and just blast out these reviews for these trailers, because I often feel like I'm sort of just getting behind. So Frank said he wanted a lot more Willem Dafoe, and yeah, me too. I mean, he was in a good portion of the movie, but I would watch Willem Dafoe do basically anything. Hell, I watched him in The Lighthouse, right? If you like Willem Dafoe, then he's just one of those actors that you'll watch read the Bible or read something, right? Read an atlas, something boring, right? Willem Dafoe is just an incredible character actor, and I love everything that he's in. And I also thought that Skarsgård did an excellent job. Bill Skarsgård did an excellent job as Count Orlok in Nosferatu. And I like their portrayal of Count Orlok. I thought the creature design was done well. The biggest thing, without getting too detailed and taking apart my review and opinions for the video, is I thought that Nosferatu was a little too long and a little too slow paced, right? And that could say more about me than it does about the movie, but I thought it just kind of took too long to tell the same story that I've seen time and time again. I kind of wanted there to be a little bit darker twist, something a little bit more gnarly than what the original story had. And I almost feel like the original Nosferatu, the old black and white one, right, felt a little more sinister, felt a little darker than this one, and that is not what I was expecting. This was more of just like a here's a period piece, and let's make it make as much sense as possible. And they kind of lined up, everything with the plague, and it was cool. It just really, I was left wanting more. So Frank's already guessed the movie back here. It is Anaconda, and I gotta say, I don't know what gave it away to you, but Anaconda from 1997. This movie is a fantastic animal attack movie. It has Ice Cube, John Voight, Jennifer Lopez, and I'm sure there's some more people in here that I don't know. Eric Stoltz, Owen Wilson's in it, so like I said, from 1997. I remember renting this from the movie store in the 90s, So this is one of those stupid movies that I hold near and dear to my heart, not because it is like exceptional. It's fun, it's good, but it also just kind of has a little bit of nostalgia for me, because I remember sitting and watching it with a friend I had. I think I stayed the night at his house, and we went and we rented this. And I don't know if it was at the same time, but I remember that his dad also rented Don't Be a Menace, the Marlon Wayans movie, right? Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. And I remember his dad renting that, and me and my friend having to stay up late till after his parents went to bed, and we snuck to watch it because it was, I was probably in 5th grade at the time, and this movie obviously is not made for fifth graders if you've never seen it. There's some nudity in it. There's a lot of crude jokes. It's just it's rated R. And I remember his mom waking up in the middle of the night to go to the kitchen, and me and my friend are sitting there watching this movie, and she lost her absolute shit on us. Because obviously she didn't want her kid watching it. And I guess, probably didn't care that I was watching it. Didn't want her kid watching it, but we snuck behind her back to watch the movie, and she lost her shit. I'm pretty sure Danny Trejo's in this. Pretty sure. But yeah, so that's my memories with Anaconda and Don't Be a Menace. I'm pretty sure. I know I watched them with the same kid. I don't know if it was the same rental time or not, but let's look up when Don't Be a Menace came out. Just out of sheer curiosity's sake. If you guys have never seen it, it is ridiculously stupid. And by today's standards, probably not funny. 1996. Yeah, so this came out in 96. This came out in 97. So I either watched this with him before this, or it was probably a different night. But I remember watching both these with the same kid. This is a dumbass movie. It obviously makes fun of Boys in the Hood and other kind of like films of this nature from that time. But, if you're into those type of movies, it's worth the watch. Are you talking about Jon Voight, the old guy? That is Angelina Jolie's dad. So that's Jon Voight. Jon Voight. All right, so here's Anaconda. Let's see. So this guy here, Frank, that's Jon Voight. He supposedly is like a major asshole in real life. And like I said, that's Angelina Jolie's dad. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's what their relation is. Yeah, so you got Jon Voight. Danny Trejo, he's a poacher. He's in the movie. Owen Wilson, Ice Cube, Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, Jonathan Hyde, which this guy, he's one of those actors that you see all the time, but, you don't know his name. He plays this guy in Jumanji. He plays this guy in the movie or the show The Strain. Which I saw one episode of that, and it was good. I wouldn't mind getting back into it. Oh yeah, his accent. He tries to do the Cajun Creole accent. It's pretty funny. Yeah, he's pretty good in the movie. Anaconda is solid. It's just, your mid-90s movie, right? Nothing wrong with that. I enjoy it a good bit. Fit in with all those type of movies that came out in that time frame. Movies like Titanic, Jumanji, right? Like I said, Don't Be a Menace. You had all of these type of movies coming out, and they were just a blast to watch. All right, so real quick, let's go ahead and let's look at Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks and get this movie cranked up. So I got to say that the IMDb rating for this is kind of low, but that doesn't really matter to us here at Cinema Creep. IMDb gives it a 3.9 out of 10. This movie's from 1974. It is 1 hour and 29 minutes long. It is rated PG. Brazzy plays Mad Dr. Frankenstein. Dunn is an evil dwarf. And Lugosi, no relation to Bela Lugosi, is a Neanderthal man. Add a monster named Hulk and some nude women for sexploitation value. Directed by Dick Randall. And it stars Rossano Brazzi, Edmund Purdom, Lauren Ewing, Zyro Papas, Michael Dunn, Gordon Mitchell, Luciano Pagozzi, Salvatore Baccaro, and Simonetta Vitelli. So obviously, if you did not know, this is an Italian film. So Dick Randall, I know this name. I just can't think of what this guy has made. Pieces. So he is the producer of Pieces. That's probably where I know his name from. Other than that, I think that's all that I know of him. Let's see. Don't Open Till Christmas. Okay, he's the producer of that. Slaughter High, producer of that. I know Slaughter High, obviously. So he's a producer of some fun horror movies from the 80s. Obviously not with us no more. Died 1996. But yeah, so that's Dick Randall for you. Congo from 1995, Nick. I think that Congo was a solid movie. I remember really liking that one as well. So Frank, how many things you wanted to mention to me about Nosferatu, but didn't want to spoil it for me? Well, I appreciate that. Nosferatu, I want to talk about. You know, after Nick sees it, maybe we can talk a little bit more about it, or when I upload the video for it, talk in the comments over there. It's just there's a lot of things about it. You know, some really gnarly things, some things that are kind of, you know, But like I said, it didn't blow my socks off. And not that it was bad. You know, it wasn't Longlegs territory or even Maxine territory. I think it was better than both of those movies. But I really, really wanted it to be a little bit more than what it was. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's get Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks cranked up, chat. And if YouTube shuts me down, which they tend to do, you know, we'll pick something else. And we'll work through it together. So this is 1 hour and 24 minutes long. So get your snacks, get your drinks, get your PJs on, you know, whatever you need. Your vomit bags, because this is Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks. It is available in full on YouTube. This is a cold opening for you. What the hell? What a way to open a movie. Got that lightning. Got the horse-drawn carriage, which is, I think, going to slowly become a new necessity. Lantern. Well, YouTube is already sending me warnings, chat. This is not our night. We'll see what happens. Boris Lugosi. I know the movie you're talking about, Old Dark House. Don't know if I've seen it, though. grave digging scene. YouTube is most definitely going to shut us down. Yeah, I know the movie you're talking about, Frank. I don't think I've ever watched it, though.
Don't touch her, you little wham. All right. Let's hurry out of here. Watch out.
Jet, welcome. I don't know if YouTube is going to shut me down for this or not, but we'll see.
Be quiet.
We've been talking about Nosferatu, the new one. I watched it right before stream.
All right, Cregan. Get up here. Let's hurry. Drive on, Igor.
That client review was brutal.
We're gonna be underwater for weeks.
I'm already so pruny.
This is...
Alright, so YouTube is going to shut me down. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Alright, YouTube, so YouTube shut us down, so we'll be back momentarily. And find something else to watch. It's alright, I got a couple different things in my back pocket. And we'll see what is gonna get played next. So just give me a second to find out what the next thing is. So this movie is supposedly in the public domain, but I don't know why YouTube is not allowing us to stream it. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is find the next movie. All right, so I think we're going to watch, let me see here. I think we might give either Snow Creature, One Body Too Many. What else do we got here? Let me see. I don't want to watch another vampire movie since I just watched Nosferatu earlier. Maybe I'll watch... we could try The Old Dark House. Let's see if it's public domain. So I'm thinking about trying to figure out, yeah, it says it's public domain on, Google. Now, everything that I play, I always research to see if it's public domain. And even though it says it's public domain on 30 different lists, including the public domain registry, YouTube somehow still doesn't acknowledge that it's public domain and then flags it. So I just want you guys to know I do my homework on these movies. I don't just kind of like willy-nilly try and stream anything. And that's why it pains me so much, because I actually research into these movies and see that they're public domain, and then just to find out that YouTube doesn't really give a shit about anything but what YouTube thinks. So they shut it down. So we'll play The Old Dark House. Why not? We'll try it. See if YouTube shuts it down. It is on Tubi. It's also on YouTube in full. So give me just a minute and we'll get it cranked up. And is this a silent film? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to IMDb and we're going to check out The Old Dark House, and then we'll crank this one up. All right, chat. So, Old Dark House, 1932. It is 1 hour and 12 minutes long. And the synopsis is: seeking shelter from a storm, 5 travelers are in for a bizarre and terrifying night when they stumble upon the Fem family estate. So, absolutely love that synopsis. The director, James Whale. And if you guys don't know, James Whale is one of our old school horror directors, known for things like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, The Invisible Man. He is one of those original Universal Hammer film horror directors. So, Frank, this is a good pick. Let's just hope that YouTube acknowledges our hustle and lets us play it. Look at these awesome pictures of James Whale. Like this right here. How gnarly. Like if that was like your grandfather, right? In this picture with original Frankenstein. So sick. This right here is the embodiment of the aesthetic that Cinema Creep is trying to convey. So James Whale, unless there's things about him personally that I don't know, he is one of the all-time greatest. All right, so here we go. Old Dark House. Let's see what YouTube has to say about this one. See if they're gonna let us stream this or not. Wow, that's a strange little disclaimer there. Oh, I love this old Universal intro right here.
you stopping for?
I'm stopping for a rest.
Really, Philip, you can't stop here. For pity's sake, I
Can you guys hear it okay?
You can't expect me to spend the night like a half-drowned rat on a mountainside.
It's better to stop and drive the car gently over a cliff, isn't it?
Well, it won't help things, losing your temper.
I've never been in a better temper in my life. I love driving 100 miles through the dark, practically without headlights. I love the trickle of ice-cold water pouring down my neck. This is one of the happiest moments of my life.
Would you like me to drive for a bit?
Yes, I was expecting that.
Oh, I shall be glad when we get to Shrewsbury.
If we get to Shrewsbury.
Do you happen to have any idea where we are?
I haven't the least idea in the world.
That's very comforting.
You all right, Pendrell?
Fine. Where are we?
We don't know. We've lost our way. We're somewhere in the Welsh Mountains. It's 9:30, and I'm very sorry.
Don't mention it.
It's 10 to 1. We don't see Shrewsbury tonight.
Alright, I cranked it up as loud as it'll go, chat.
Oh, Mr. Waverton, what shall I do?
I think it's just a
wanted
quiet
to go to
movie.
Shrewsbury, but they took me on to Crew. As a matter of fact, taking one thing with another, I'm not particularly sure that I want to go to Shrewsbury. As far as that goes, I don't particularly want to go anywhere. Something might happen here, but nothing ever happens in Shrewsbury.
Something certainly might happen here.
Well, I'll tell you something that might happen. I don't want to frighten Mrs. Waverton.
Go on, Mr. Pendrell. I'm not easily frightened.
Aren't you? I am. Well, I was just going to say, we'll have to be a bit careful.
This is gotta be one of the first, like, horror comedies. Look at that.
Don't stop!
How can I help stopping? Do you think we're in a motorboat?
Stuck for the night. Stuck for the night.
Mr. Pendrell, please!
Sorry.
Do you think we'll do it?
I really don't know.
Bon voyage.
That thing is straight getting it through that flood.
Well, now, for heaven's sake, stop! Let's look at a map or something.
My own view is we're not on a map.
I don't even
You
think my
look,
car would
Philip,
make it
I
through that.
can't see anything. It's all a stupid tunnel.
Seems to represent this country very well. Everything here is underwater.
Oh, just drive on. We'll arrive somewhere, sometime.
Yes, I suppose that's all we can do.
Singing in the bathtub. Like a bell, never take a shot.
Oh, look, Phil, lights, pull in there.
What was the movie called, Jet?
Probably wisest to push on.
Well, I'm for staying here.
There you are. The whole hilltop has probably fallen off.
'Cause even if this wasn't the first one, it had to be right there in that group where the first one's done. I mean, 1932. Isn't that when this is from? 32?
Is there anybody there? Said the traveler.
Knock again, louder.
I should have thought that was loud enough to wake the dead. That's an idea.
What is?
Wouldn't it be dramatic? Supposing the people inside were dead, all stretched out with the lights quietly burning about them.
I'm sure it would be very amusing.
Oh, not a scary,
I'm sure
creepy
I could
old
do with
lady,
a drink.
Frank.
If people have to be soaked, they should be soaked inside, not out.
Listen.
What is it?
Well, I heard something.
Good evening. We've come to ask for shelter. We've lost our way. We're absolutely cut off. Don't you understand? We can't go forward and we can't go back. The road's blocked on both sides. Landslide. well short not to sound like that.
If you could inherit a house, chap, but you knew the house was haunted, but it was like a big house like this, like an old creepy house, out in the middle of the country or out in the middle of like the Alps, but you got it for free, would you take it?
My name is Fem. Horace Fem. How do you do? I'm very sorry to break in on you like this. My name is Waverton. May I introduce my wife?
How do you do?
Kendall. Charmed, I'm sure.
How do you do?
Won't you sit down? Thank you. My sister was on the point of arranging these flowers.
I don't know if your man explained the situation to you.
He did his best, but I'm afraid I couldn't understand him. You see, Morgan is dumb.
Oh, I see. Of course, I didn't realize. We saw your lights and wondered if you'd be kind enough to give us shelter for the night. You see, it's quite impossible to go on.
I see. How awkward. How very awkward.
What is it? What do they want?
Allow me to introduce my sister, Miss Rebecca Fem.
How do you do? What are they doing here? What do they want?
How do you do?
What do they say? What do they want? What are they doing here? What's all the fuss about? What?
You must excuse my sister. She's a little deaf. In fact, sometimes quite deaf. They want to know if they can stay here for the night. Shelter. They've been caught in the storm.
Of course they can't stay. We can't have them here.
But we only got
But
minutes
it's
to get
pouring down in torrents.
Go on.
You see, there's a landslide. Half the mountain seems to be crumbling. It only just missed us. The road's blocked behind us, and I'm pretty sure it's blocked in front as well. We hate to intrude, but what else can we do?
You see, there isn't anywhere else we can go. Even the road below is underwater, and for that matter, this place itself may be underwater pretty soon, or even buried.
What's the matter? Did you hear what he said? There's a landslide and floods. The lake has burst its banks. We're trapped. We're trapped. We've got to go. You hear? We've got to go.
You're afraid, Horace. You're afraid, aren't you? You don't believe in God, and yet you're afraid to die. You've seen his anger in the sky, and you've heard him in the night. And you're afraid. 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 Where's your knocking now? You may well be afraid. Your time will come. But it hasn't come yet. This house is safe. I know it better than you. Morgan! You remember the great storm years ago when we were cut off, and there was a landslide, and floods, and the roads were washed away? Morgan remembers. He means his house is safe, because it's built on rock.
You will have to stay here. The misfortune is yours, not ours.
No beds. They can't have beds.
As my sister hints, there are, I'm afraid, no beds.
That's quite all right. If we can just sit around the fire, that will be fine.
By all means. I'm not very sure that I want to go to bed myself tonight. Morgan, attend to the fire. Is there any place I can put the car out of the rain? There are some stables round the corner to the right. Morgan will show you. Thanks very much.
I'll come along and get the bag.
Right.
No beds. You can't have beds.
I had a friend one time, Frank, that looked exactly like that butler. And he was high school age.
What a storm. We're well out of it. Well, I hope you're right, though. This house gives me the creeps, not to mention its inmates.
Well, it's better than driving along roads that aren't there. At least there's a roof and a fire here. Now, Mr. Penderell, do you think that you could join me in a drink?
Mr. Fem, I honestly believe I could join you in a drink.
It's only gin, you know. Only gin. I like gin. Mrs. Waverton?
Thanks very much.
Mr. Penderell, I will give you a toast that you will not appreciate, being young. I give you illusion.
Illusion? Huh. I'm precisely the right age for that toast, Mr. Fame.
Oh, I presume you are one of the gentlemen slightly, shall we say, battered by the war?
Correct, Mr. Fame. War generation slightly soiled, a study in the bitter sweet, the man with a twisted smile. And this, Mr. Fame, is exceedingly good gin.
Oh, dreadful night. It seems to be getting worse.
Yes, it is pretty bad, but evidently there's no danger here. Your sister was quite definite about that.
But supposing we're cut off, shut up in here.
Well, it would be rather a nuisance for you having us billeted on you like this.
But it's awful. How can you be so calm? You don't seem to understand. We may be cut off. Shut up in this house. I'm afraid I'm rather nervous. I am rather a nervous man.
Silverbat.
But the fact is...
Welcome in.
Hail to the king, baby.
Morgan is an uncivilized brute. Sometimes he drinks heavily. A night like this would set him going, and once he's drunk, he's rather dangerous. I don't wish to alarm you, Mrs. Waverton, but I don't quite know what we should do.
Mark.
Well, I know what
What's
I'm going
up?
to
Welcome
do.
to Cinema Creek.
That
Hail
is,
to the
if
king,
Miss Fenn
baby.
will let me. What? I'm dreadfully wet, and I would be so glad if I could go and change my clothes.
What?
I wondered if I might change my things.
Well, look, quick. You better go and change your things.
Oh, thank you. A good idea. Is there a bedroom or something?
So we're watching The Old Dark House.
It's a dreadful night.
What?
I say, it's a dreadful night.
Yes, it's a very old house. Very old.
It's from the
Very kind of you to
1930s.
let us stay.
What?
I say you're very kind.
Yes, it is a dreadful night. I'm a little dead.
I understand.
Yes. No bridge. I'll have none of this electric light. I won't have it.
Thanks very much. I can manage quite well now.
My sister Rachel had this room once. She died when she was 21. She was a wicked one. Handsome and wild as a hawk. All the young men used to follow her about with her red lips and her big eyes and her white neck. But that didn't save her. She fell off her horse, hunting. Hurt her spine. On this bed she lay, month after month. Many the time I've sat here listening to her screaming.
Oh, dreadful.
She used to cry out to me to kill her, but I'd tell her to turn to the Lord. But she didn't. She was godless to the last.
Well, I'd better change my wet things.
They were all godless here. They used to bring their women here, brazen, lolling creatures in silks and satins. They filled the house with laughter and sin, laughter and sin. And if I ever went down among them, my own father and brothers, they would tell me to go away and pray. They wouldn't tell Rachel to go away and pray. And I prayed and left them with their lustful red and white women. My father's still alive. He's upstairs. He's very old.
Oh, is he?
He's 102.
That's very old, isn't it?
He's a wicked, blasphemous old man. You're wicked too. Young and handsome, silly and wicked. You think of nothing but your long, straight legs and your white body and how to please your man. You revel in the joys of fleshly love, don't you? That's fine stuff, but it'll rot. That's finer stuff still, but it'll rot too in time.
Don't! How dare you!
I was just about to say the same thing for you, Frank.
Quite willing.
Good for you, Mrs. Waverton. You make it look like a party.
Thank you. You must have thought I was a long time.
Matter of fact, I thought you were quicker than usual.
Oh, I just thought I'd been rather long.
Supper!
Philip.
Horace, what are you doing? We aren't all heathens.
Oh, I had forgotten my sister's strange tribal habits. The beef will seem less tough when she has invoked a blessing upon it.
Horace Fem, if I can't hear, I can see. You're blaspheming.
On the contrary, my dear Rebecca, I was merely telling your wondering guests that you were about to thank your gods for their bounty.
That'll do. I know your mocking, lying tongue.
To thank them for the health and prosperity and happiness granted to this family, for its years of peace and plenty. To thank them for having created Rebecca Fem and Roderick Fem and so...
Stop! Bless thou, Lord, visit the house, may they reprove a wholesome healing remedy for mankind. Amen.
Have a potato.
Thank you.
Yes, isn't it?
Have a potato.
Thank you. I should love a potato. Vinegar, Miss Fem?
It's simply coming down in bucketfuls outside.
Thank you, Mrs. Waverton. That's the phrase I've been searching for all evening. No pickled onions, thank you.
Those lights, they gave me quite a start. I suppose it's a store.
On the contrary, we make our own electric light here, and we are not very good at it. Pray don't be alarmed if they go out altogether.
There's someone outside.
They can't come in.
But surely they must come in. It's probably dangerous out there now.
They're probably half drowned. You know, really, we oughtn't to keep them waiting.
No, I'm afraid we shall have to let them in. Morgan, open the door.
Come on then, Morgan. Let them in.
I thought you were never going to open that door. Why? There must have been a reservoir bust or something. Anyhow, before we knew where we were, something had fallen down and smashed the car in. It's a wonder it didn't smash us. Incidentally, this house will probably be washed away any minute. Aye. Oh, look at that. Aye.
I don't know, Frank. I was wondering the same thing.
That's a grand fire.
I'll look it up real quick.
I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, but needs must when the devil drives. Well, who's the owner here?
My sister is the owner, Miss Femme.
How do you do, Miss Femme? My name is Porterhouse.
Sir William
He plays Morgan.
Porterhouse. And this lady is Miss Gladys Duquesne, a friend of mine.
Glad to know you. Nice weather for ducks.
Allow me to introduce you. This is Mrs. Waverton,
How do you do?
Mr. Penderell,
How do you do, Sir William?
and Mr. Waverton,
How do you do?
Sir William Porterhouse.
How do you do? I've never seen such a night in all my born natural. I tell you, it's coming down in bucketfuls. Pretty well soaked we were, I don't mind telling you. I shouldn't be surprised if we caught our death.
Yeah, you'd better not put those wet shoes on again, or as Sir William points out, you'll probably catch your death. Here you are. These may not be exactly your size, but at least they're dry.
Thanks, they'll do fine. Whee! Are you fond of opera, Mr. Marjoribanks?
Come and have something to eat.
Oh, now you're talking.
Morgan, bring up some chairs.
Oh, roast beef. There's nothing like roast beef when a man's hungry. Oh, the roast beef of old England. How does that go? Do you remember that, Mr. Waverton, or was that before your time?
Pendrell's our song expert.
Oh, so you're musical, are you? Well, I've got a bit of an ear myself.
Have a potato. Morgan, bring a glass of water for Sir William.
Oh, thanks very much. Take ourselves, for instance. Here we are, 6 people sitting around, and we've been talking now for nearly 2 hours. What do we know about each other? Not a thing.
How reassuring.
I agree with Sir William. At best, we only make guesses.
If you were a woman, you wouldn't talk about only guesses.
Ah, the famous old feminine intuition. Does it ever tell you which horse is going to win the Derby?
No, but it tells me quite a lot about you.
I wonder, Mrs. Waverton, whether it happens to tell you that I am wanted by the police.
I know, Mr. Femme, it tells me nothing so romantic.
After all, can you conceive of anybody living in a house like this if they didn't have to?
Well, there's no accounting for tastes, you know.
No.
Miss Duquesne,
Yes?
what does your intuition tell you about me?
Quite a lot.
That frightens me a good deal.
What does it tell you?
It tells me... Well, it's not very interesting anyway.
Oh, yes, it is. Let's have it.
Well, it sounds silly, but I think he doesn't quite fit into these times. You know, factories and cheap advertising, money grubbing and... Well, what I mean is, Bill here's all right with these things, but they make Mr. Pendrell a kind of fish out of water.
You should be flattered, Mr. Pendrell.
No, I'm not flattered. You see, I've not much sympathy with fish out of water, although I happen to be one myself. My trouble is I don't think enough things are worthwhile. Now, Sir William here would put tremendous energy into anything to make even a few pounds. No, I don't think it's worth it.
No doubt you'll think I'm very fat-headed, my young friend, but maybe I can see through things a bit further than you suppose. That was a very fine speech of yours, but I know, as well as everybody else here, that you're really only getting at me.
But honestly, I wasn't doing anything of the kind. I envy you. I admire you.
Oh, yes, you envy me, all right, but you don't admire me. Well, I don't admire myself so much. I know that money-making isn't everything, but let me tell you something. I'm a young man, see? Married to a Manchester girl, pretty as paint. The only thing in the world I care about. Well, she dies. It's this way. My directors give a party. They ask us. Red letter day for us, I can tell you. I buy me first dress suit, and Lucy has a new frock. A cotton frock. It seems that Lucy didn't go too well at that party, especially with the women. They snubbed her. Nothing definite, you know. Just didn't think the cotton frock was good enough. Well, Lucy worries about it. Gets into her head that she's going to hold me back. Well, you may not believe it, but I know that's what killed her. That's what started me making money. I swore I'd smash those fellows and their wives who wouldn't give my Lucy a kind word. And I have smashed them, at least most of them. Once you've started making money, it's hard to stop. Especially if you're like me. There isn't much else you're good at. But what Gladys here has to be superior about, I don't know.
Hail to the king, baby.
What's up, Chuck?
Why don't
Glad
you
that
tell
you
him your
made
real
it.
name?
I
My
ironed
real
out the
name?
internet problems.
It's Perkins.
And a very nice name, too.
I may not be this and I may not be that, but you don't catch me pretending to be what I'm not.
I think I'm finding you a little bit offensive.
That's all right, Mr. Pendrell. I can take care of myself. At least if I can't by now, I never will be able to. I wasn't trying to put anything across you, Bill. I don't pretend to be what I'm not either. I'm not as dumb as that. These people here know a chorus girl when they see one. And incidentally, not a very good chorus girl at that. If I were better at my job, I probably wouldn't be weekending with you. No, I take that back. I probably would. You're nice enough. We get on, but...
Morgan's at the bottle again. I knew he'd be getting game tonight. Where'd he get it from?
He didn't get it from me. Can't you stop him?
He's in the kitchen now, drunk. Quite drunk.
Who's Morgan? Is he the fellow that waited on us at table?
Yes. Morgan is the butler.
Looks to me as if he could do with a shave.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Well, have you come over to help me gaze upon the wrath of God?
No. I came to say thank you for trying to take my part just now.
Charmed, I'm sure, Mr. King.
Perkins to you.
Nice Perkins.
I say, I'd mortgage the old homestead for a drink.
So would I. And we'll have one. I've got some whiskey in the car. I've forgotten all about it. You stay here and I'll go and get it.
No, I'll come with you.
You better stay here under cover. The car's in the stables and you get soaked.
All right, don't be long.
Every man in the 30s dressed like a detective. Tan overcoat, like a flat brim hat.
Hello, what are you doing here? I was just coming.
I thought I'd come to fetch you.
Hey, what's the matter? What's happened?
Nothing. Nothing really. Got a bit scared, that's all. Somebody slammed the door in my face.
Probably the wind.
No, it wasn't. I know wind when I see it. It doesn't sound much, but, well, you know, it gave me a bit of a turn.
Yes, I bet it did. Here, what you want to drink of this?
Thanks. I feel a bit more human now.
This certainly is a benighted household.
You're right, it is.
Look at those. Come on, take them off. I seem to spend most of the evening changing your shoes.
You ought to be a nursery maid.
Yes, except that the best nursery maids don't drink whiskey out of the bottle.
Oh. Storm's just as bad as ever, isn't it?
Worse. That's done it. The light's gone out.
I suppose they'll stay out this time. Now we shall be miserable all the evening.
That's all right. Surely there's some candles somewhere, aren't there?
Can I do anything about the lights, Miss Fenn?
No, nobody understands our lights except Morgan. And as an electrician, Morgan is temporarily disqualified.
You haven't got a lamp by any chance, have you?
No, we haven't got a lamp.
What did they say?
Nothing important.
No, not important. As happens, I heard that time. They want a lamp. Give them a large one. There's oil in it. We used it the last time the lights went wrong. Go on, Horace. You know the one.
I don't remember where it is. Suppose you get it, Rebecca.
It's too big for me. If you don't know where it is, I'll tell you. You know as well as I do. It's on the top landing on the little table. Do you know where the top landing is, Horace? At least you might believe there is a top landing, although you do believe in so little. It's up there, Horace. Up there. Next to the roof.
Yes, of course, I remember. But I think it's a little too heavy for me. I don't think I could carry it down all those stairs.
Why don't you say what you mean, Horace? You mean you're afraid to go up there alone? You go with him. Here, take this. I don't know why I bother myself. Do you all good to sit in the dark?
We'd better go up, hadn't we?
Yes, I suppose we had.
We won't be long.
That's all right. Mrs. Waverton will see that I don't get nervy.
You better lead the way.
This is my room.
Oh?
There are one or two things that I should very much like for you to see.
I should like to very much, but you must show me some other time. We've got to get that lamp.
Yes. Listen, why should we bother about the lamp? Let us wait here for a few minutes and then go back and say that we couldn't find it, or that it's broken.
I can't see the point.
Yes, but why should we trouble about the lamp if we don't want to?
But I said we'd get it, so why shouldn't we get it?
Yes, but why should we if we don't want to, and I don't want to?
But this is absurd. Did you hear that?
I did hear something.
What was it?
It must have been Morgan. He's drunk, you know. He's probably making a disturbance downstairs in the kitchen.
I thought that noise came from upstairs. Anyway, what about this lamp?
I wondered whether you'd excuse me from coming with you. I'm not very strong. There are rather a lot of stairs. I really should have told you before, but the vanity of age, you know. You'll find it on the little table at the end of the landing, 2 floors above.
I suppose it's not too heavy for me to carry.
Oh, no, not at all. It's quite light, really.
I see.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
But what?
The rain's pouring and the flood's rising. The room will be drenched if you don't come quickly.
She means the window in her room. I'm afraid I opened it.
Go on. You opened it. You can shut it.
That's all right, Miss Firma. I'll come and shut it.
Is he dead?
No, you can see him breathing from here. He's only stunned. He'll be conscious in a minute, though he'll probably fall asleep again. He's very drunk.
Oh, Philip, this is an awful house.
It isn't very nice, is it? Listen, Margaret. Something happened upstairs just now.
Oh, Philip, not something else horrible.
No, this was nothing horrible. It was a voice calling from behind a door. A tiny voice, rather like a child's. I think I ought to go and see what it is. You'll have to come with me. I'm not going to leave you alone again. He'll be all right. Take my hand, darling.
Oh, Philip.
What is it? Sit down here a minute, darling.
Thanks.
Well, what happened then?
Well, then the war ended.
What about the girl?
Oh, the girl I left behind me?
The girl you were in love with?
Why, she got married, Gladys.
What a beast.
No, on the contrary, a lady of rather good judgment. But now let's talk about you for a bit.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to ask me about Bill Porterhouse.
Clever, Miss Perkins.
I don't mind telling you. I'd rather like to. Bill's all right, really. Of course, I don't love him. And of course, he gives me money. Oh, not very much. Just enough to keep me going. You probably won't believe me, but Bill he doesn't expect anything. Do you know what I mean by anything?
Yes, I know what you mean by anything.
He likes people to think he's ever so gay. You see, for all his money, he's a bit lonely.
Yes, I spotted that when he told us the story of the cotton dress. I think he's in love with that little dead wife still.
I'm sure he is. I suppose that's why he only wants me, well, for company. He likes to sit on my bed at night and boast to me about the things he's done during the day.
Well, that's harmless enough.
Mind you, I'm not pretending to be any better than I am.
You're a nice creature, aren't you?
I like you. Awfully.
And I you.
What are you thinking of?
You may not be very pleased.
Risk it.
These cuts are wild in this movie.
I was thinking I'd like to pretend that I was your lover. And that you were mine, Gladys, body and soul. I'd like to take you in my arms and hold you and press you to me very gently, very tight.
I'd like it too.
Would you, Gladys Perkins? Why then, let's pretend.
Inspector Gadget.
Listen. Gladys Perkins has an idea. I think she must have gone mad. She wants to live with you. I'm just flinging myself at your head. I've got a crazy idea that I might help you to be a useful person.
Darling Perkins.
Do you think I'm mad?
Quite mad, my darling. And thank God for it.
Well, what you say?
That's what I say, Perkins, darling. But I've got a better idea than yours. An improvement on it.
What is it?
Well, it's just this. No, I won't tell you here. There's magic here. I'll tell you later on in the house, perhaps even in the cold light of morning.
Tell me now.
Come on, let's go back to the house.
No. No, let's stay here.
You're cold.
No. It's just the idea of going back to that house that made me shiver. I've got a funny feeling something dreadful might happen to us if we go back to that house.
Perkins, Perkins, you've my strong right arm, haven't you?
All right. Come on.
No, you can't put on those wet shoes. I'm going to try to carry you.
I'm a devil of a weight.
Well, if you're too heavy for me, I shall drop you in the mud and go on alone.
Frank, I know you're going to be looking up tan overcoats after this stream. Have you ever seen the movie
I went out to
Birdemic?
the car to get a drink.
And I went with him.
She got her feet wet. Oh, she got her feet wet? Yes, she got her feet wet. Well, what the devil's been happening here?
I don't know what the devil's been happening here, or anywhere else. I don't know what's been happening anywhere. I went into the old girl's room to close a window and came back and found this.
Well, where are all the others?
I don't know, no more than you. Mr. Waverton went upstairs with Thingamy-Tight to fetch a lamp. I suppose his wife joined him. I've been asleep. So you got your feet wet?
Yes, Bill. And that wasn't all,
Yes, I didn't suppose it was.
I don't quite know how you'll take this, but... Well, I've got to get it off my chest.
Come on, let's have it.
I've fallen in love, Bill.
Oh, you have you? With him?
Yes, with him.
Darned fool.
Probably. But we don't choose these things.
Has he got any money?
Not a penny.
But you're going off with him?
Yes, Bill. Are you angry?
I think you're a lunatic, but I'm not angry.
He took it pretty well, didn't he, Perkins?
I told you.
Bill's all right.
He is indeed.
Wonder where the others can be.
Listen, Bill, she hasn't told you everything.
Hasn't she? Why not?
Because she doesn't know everything herself. We're going to be married.
Oh, yeah.
At least if she'll have me. I'm going to ask her tomorrow, in the cold light of morning. Will you come to the wedding?
I think you're off your head.
Do you?
No, I don't. I think it's probably the best day's work you've ever done in your life.
Ah, Bill. Bill!
Who told you you could call me Bill?
Well, you try and stop me.
Now, look here, come and make yourself useful and put this table on its feet. That's no way to treat roast beef.
Miss Perkins, tend the roast beef.
Tend it yourself.
Sure you feel better?
Yes, I'm all right.
Well, let's go on. This is the door.
Who are you?
I'm Mrs. Waverton. This is my husband. Are you Sir Roderick Fenn? We came in because we thought we heard you calling. Can we get you anything? Can you take it yourself or shall I give it to you?
I can take it myself. Thank you.
So I'm not judging, but that woman has a beard.
What was that noise? Was it Morgan?
Yes.
Morgan is a savage.
And not just a
I
beard,
must
a beard that would make most men
But we
envious.
have to keep him here. You shouldn't have come here.
I'm very sorry, but really we couldn't help it.
Oh, I don't mean that. I was never inhospitable. Never. This house was always filled with guests.
Frank, is this that
Once
creepy
upon a
old lady
time,
you told me about? You didn't tell me nothing about her having a beard.
When you came, what did they tell you?
Why, they told us you were an invalid.
Was that all?
Yes.
You've seen my son Horace
They
and
told her,
his
they
sister
said,
Rebecca.
we're going to shoot it in
Yes.
black and white.
And
Don't worry, we won't be able to see your beard.
Morgan.
It'll blend in.
I would like to tell you all about it.
Don't worry about shaving.
There
It'll
may not
blend
be
in.
time. You see, when you're as old as I am, at any minute you may just die.
Oh, please don't talk if it tires you.
This is an unlucky house. 2 of my children died when they were 20.
She looks like
And
Pai
then
Mei from Kill
other
Bill.
things happened. Madness came. We are all touched with it a little, you see. Except me. At least I don't think I am.
Would you like to go to sleep now?
That guy's like, what the fuck?
No. Not just yet. You see, it may be
It may be what?
dangerous.
You mean Morgan?
No, not Morgan. I mean from my eldest son, Saul.
Saul?
They didn't tell you about Saul.
No, they didn't.
Saul is the worst, you know. we have to watch him. Because, you see, he just wants to destroy, to kill. Poor Saul.
Where is he?
I know where he is. He's upstairs behind that bolted door, isn't he?
Yes, locked in. Saul is why we have to keep Morgan.
But if he did get out?
Saul quite certainly would set fire to the house. He tried to once before. He wanted, he said, to make this house a burnt offering.
But isn't he safely locked in?
Yes. But you see, if Morgan is bad, I think he might open the door.
Philip, wonder if he's come too.
Wait here.
I would 1000% be like, why are you talking creepy like a witch? Talk with your real voice, lady. You're creeping me out.
He's gone upstairs. I heard him. He's gone to let Saul out. Wait for him downstairs and kill him.
What are we to do? Can't we stay in here?
No, supposing he set fire to the place. Come on.
But what about Sir Roderick?
We must lock the door. Sir Roderick, I'm going to lock you in.
He's asleep.
Oh, it's a man? That's a guy? Sir Roderick?
What is it? Listen, there's a madman upstairs. Morgan's let him out and he's dangerous. We've got to do something. Good gosh, where are they?
Upstairs, but they may come down any minute.
That's all right, my dear.
I knew. I felt something dreadful was going to happen.
Hadn't we better get out of the way?
Now I'm just
Can't do
confused.
that. He might set fire to the place. He's tried it once before.
Well, let him. Let the rotten old place burn. I wish it would.
That's all right, but what about the flames?
What is it?
Your brother's out of his room.
What? Saul?
Look!
Get back!
Take him back, Morgan. You hear me? Take him back.
I definitely like you better with as a woman with a beard too.
Sins of the fathers, the sins of the fathers. Come on, you! Hurry to my room!
No! I'm going to stay here.
Then stay there!
there's going to be trouble. Come on, come in here.
No, I don't want to be shut up. I'd rather stay.
Gladys, for heaven's sake, come in here, Margaret.
Oh, no. All right.
Wait a minute. You like this?
Oh, I love him so. I just love him.
Please, please don't touch me.
Oh, what is it?
Listen, don't put me back. Don't let them put me back. I'm not mad. I swear before heaven I'm not mad. It's just that they've locked me up here. They're all wicked.
Why should they lock you up?
They're frightened of me. I know something about them. Years ago, they killed their sister Rachel. But I wouldn't tell. I promised I'd never tell.
And they've kept you here all that time for that?
And Morgan, I tell you he's the devil. Morgan beats me. Don't leave me. Stay with me.
Well, that's all right. You sit here and wait. I'll be back. The door's locked. Miss Finn must have locked it.
It's locked, is it?
Yes, it is.
I'm glad. Then you can't leave me.
Listen, we've got to help the others with Morgan. Isn't there some way of getting through?
No, no way.
But there must be a back entrance into the house.
Stop. I want to tell you a story. Who's in there?
Nobody.
Friends of yours?
I tell you, nobody.
Shall we invite them out?
You were going to tell me something.
Yes, so I was.
Won't you tell me that story?
Yes. Shall we sit down?
Yes. Let's.
Who's in that cupboard?
Nobody. Tell me what you were going to say to me.
Are you interested in flame?
Why, yes, I am, rather.
I've made a study of flame.
Have you? Well, that must be very interesting.
I know things about flames that nobody else in the world knows.
Well, won't you tell me? I'd like very much to know.
Why should I tell you? You wouldn't tell me who is in that cupboard?
But I did tell you. Besides, you know it. It isn't fair to make me curious and then just not say anything.
You'd like me to tell you all about fire, would you?
Yes, I wish you would.
Well, then, first of all, I've learned that flames are really knives. They're cold, my friend. Sharp and cold as snow. They burn like ice.
Oh.
It's the same conversation you have with people going in and out of the convenience store.
So they're really like knives, are they? Well, do go on. Tell me what else you found out.
Oh, a lot of things, my friend.
It's like,
Sit
yeah,
down.
I'm just trying to run in here real quick and get some gas.
So you thought you could cheat me, did you? You thought you could leave me sitting here and I wouldn't notice.
But you see, I am a clever man also. That is why we understand one another. That is why you understood so quickly that I wanted to kill you. We understand each other so well, don't we, my friend?
Yes. Yes, indeed we do. From the start, somehow, I liked you, and I thought you liked me.
Like you? My friend, I love you. Did you know my name is Saul? Saul, my friend. And Saul loved David.
Yes, indeed he did.
But Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played upon the harp with his hand, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand, and Saul cast the javelin. And he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice, my friend. For the third time, you must be careful.
Listen, I'm your friend. I'm on your side. It's silly to lose me. If you lose me... Look, there's Morgan. He's come for you. Morgan!
Stop! Don't move!
I hope I have that kind of like energy when I'm an old man. Run around the house with a candle or a torch, just giggling. He saw that performance of that other old guy that I thought was a woman talking like a witch. He's like, I'm gonna steal a little bit of that and inject it into my performance.
He's hurt. Oh, how can I make you understand? He's hurt. I've got to look after him and the other man, too. Saul! They're both hurt.
really should take things up a notch, Frank, and light a torch when I'm doing that, just to see how the cats would react to fire. You go ahead and say I don't think they're gonna enjoy it.
You all right, Margaret?
Yes, I'm all right, darling.
Gladys. It's all right. Come on now. You feeling better?
Yes, I'm not so bad.
What happened to you?
That Bruce Morgan, he hit her.
Come on.
I'm all right now. Where's Pendrell? I've got to look after him.
You better not go over there. Come with me.
Jet, we should all strive to call somebody a swine this week. Try and use that.
He's alive!
What?
He's alive, I tell you! He's alive!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look how there's just farm animal sounds now.
Good morning, Mr. Waverton. Good morning.
They're like,
Floods have subsided considerably.
how can we signify that it's daytime? Let's just throw some roosters in there,
I
some
think it will be
birds.
possible for you to send for an ambulance now.
You mean we can go?
Yes, I'm sure we can go now. Come on, darling. You're going to stay here with Gladys, aren't you?
I am. Don't be long.
We won't. We'll be as quick as we can.
My man's got that collar popped on that tan overcoat.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So happy to have met you.
Swine, really? Dead and gone to heaven.
No, it's morning, and we've only just left hell behind.
Morning?
Yes, cold light of day. Wasn't there something you were going to tell me in the cold light of day?
Come to think of it, there was. Perkins, will you marry me?
All right. So, chat. That was the old dark house from 1932. So, what did everybody think of that one? It was a good time, right? I love a good haunted house movie. Boris Karloff, James Well, right? It was a good one. Now, is it my favorite 1930s haunted house movie? Probably not. But it was fun nonetheless. So shout out to Frank for suggesting that one after we got shut down on the first movie. It's all right, Chuck. You got the gist of it. It was more or less like, hey, you know, people go to an old haunted house. There's creepy shit happening. There's a woman/man with a beard. And that's pretty much it. You know, so yeah, it was kind of hard to follow a little bit. The story was a little bit all over the place, but it is what it is. You know, it's one of those old, fun, black and white ones. So it was a good time. Good time, good time. So I think, let's see what we're going to watch next, Creeps, because we've been online for almost 2 hours now. We still got some time to spare. Sorry, that was a video that just barked at you. So let me see what we can throw out there. Did anybody watch the Cinema Creep Film Club movie of the week, which was The Mutilator? Did any of you guys watch that? Or get around to it? Yeah, cozy horror. You know, weird. It was a good time. Good time, good time. Chuck said he's kind of slow as well. All right, so let me see here. Give me just a second. It's all right. We're all kind of we all have our different challenges here at Cinema Creep. You know, if we rode to school together, it may or may not be on a regulation size bus. And not only is it a dumb slasher, but I think it's underrated. You know, you don't find a lot of people that have seen it, and it's probably because it's not widely known. Like, if you're somebody that's really into horror and you're really into slashers, of course you're going to come across it. But if you're somebody that just watches horror at like a surface level, then it's not normally one that's going to be on your radar. But yeah, let's talk about it. Sorry guys, stream is acting kind of crazy. Run into those same internet problems. So let me know if I'm lagging out too much for y'all. But The Mutilator, let's go ahead and talk about it. It's The Mutilator from 1984. This is our Cinema Creep Film Club movie of the week. So if you don't know about that, then every week we pick a movie and we all watch it off stream, and then we come back and we talk about it. So if you watch this, I'm curious to know what your ratings was out of 5 creeps. This one for me, I'm going to say, is a solid 3.5 out of 5 creeps. Like I said, I do enjoy it. So Mutilator 1984, 1 hour, 26 minutes. It is supposed to be, you know, a little bit comedic, but it is about a college student who accidentally killed his mother as a child, decides to take his friends to his father's fishing cabin during fall break, not knowing that his crazed father is stalking the place. Directed by Buddy Cooper, John Douglas, and written by Buddy Cooper. So, yeah, the score, and I'll play it for you guys here. I'll play an excerpt of it on chat if you haven't seen this movie. But it's pretty goofy. So one thing that I do like about this, and this may not be something that resonates with you guys, is this was filmed near me, right? So that's always fun when you find movies that are filmed near you. Now, if you're Jet and you live in Los Angeles, right, pretty much everything is filmed out there. So Mutilator 2, 2023. I knew at one point they were going to remake this movie. Apparently they did a Mutilator 2 in 2023. So I'm not tracking this. I don't know if this is good or not, but this is something I'll have to check out. The sequel. Now, I will say this. So as Jed is saying, just based on the name alone and the premise, you know, they're going to give it a 3 out of 5. But I got to say that, let me go back. The freaking poster art is amazing for this. I wish I could get rid of this freaking ad. Okay. By Sword, by Pick, by Axe, by the Mutilator, right? And it's just this dude with this big, gnarly fishing hook. I'm sure those have an actual name. And then all these kids kind of nailed up on a wall. Like, I love the poster art for it, right? And that's what initially drew me to this movie. But let me go ahead and we'll go through the film just a little bit, and I'll show you guys some of my favorite parts, some of the things I liked about it, some of the things I didn't like about it. So, first thing is you'll notice that this movie has that crazy soundtrack from the beginning, right? So, we'll play it. Hang on.
Score on video.
Where's it at? Let me find it. So you have these kids, and they're all going to go to this guy's dad's fishing cabin, which is basically a condo at the beach. Let me find this. All right, so you have this stupid scene where they're leaving.
Trip.
It's okay, it's paid for. It's behind time to get away.
All right, so yeah, so you have this like real like buddy type upbeat music.
Let's have some beer. We'll pack the car with escape in mind.
The movie's originally called Fall Break.
Behind time to get away.
And then they probably realized, hey, we need to name this something a little bit more gnarly, and that's why they named it Mutilator. It's sort of like when they changed, they do with this with a lot of horror movies, especially from the 80s, like Chopping Mall and stuff like that.
Empty cottage sitting on the shore. Tourists all left about a month before, and we're gonna have a good time.
So this really kind of like confused me when I watched it for the first time, this soundtrack. And, you know.
What took you so long?
Oh man, wait.
There's a lot of stupid scenes in this. This whole convenience store scene is pretty stupid. And this is where the guy kind of thinks he's suckering this dude into getting him a senior citizen's discount.
Now what do you say to that? Sure.
One of my favorite parts of the movies is just the sheer like how eccentric it is. Like when they get to the fishing cabin or condo or whatever you want to call it, and he's telling them the stories of his dad.
Rah, rah.
I enjoyed this whole section of the movie.
Yes. That was a record.
Just freaking outlandish.
I'll bet that was good baked with a little lemon.
Because it's so corny.
He's what's called a trophy hunter.
It is so corny, and it just has a lot of charm to me, right? When movies are just not trying to be dumb.
A couple of dozen little baby sharks spilled out in the deck, all flipping around with the yolk sac still attached.
But they're dumb, and then, you know, they're mixed with that horror element, right? I just love it.
Well, at least we're all safe. Or are we?
Jerk.
Yeah, the picture frame on the wall where he was throwing the... Where's it at? Throwing the fishing...
One of my dad's favorite things, his battle axe.
It's not there now.
Where was it? Right here, throwing the fishing lures through the wall.
28 pounds.
Or the, whatever they are, the fishing weights.
Well, Dad didn't eat it. Dad and his buddies were all over here having a drinking party, and they decided to have a contest.
So he's telling a story about his dad and his buddies drinking and them throwing these fishing weights at the wall, and whoever got it to stick in the wall won. It's just such a dumbass concept, right? And really makes no sense other than kind of showing off the beat that like him and his dad are unhinged. Now I will say this guy right here, he looks to me like what's that guy's name from The Walking Dead? Is it John or Josh Bernthal, the dude who plays Shane in The Walking Dead? He's like a dead ringer for that guy.
Hey, let's throw pyramid singers to the wall. You know, they almost made it. Well.
So Jet said, send the person that was writing the score back to the piano. Come up with something new. Yeah, it's like I said, the score is crazy. Because you have shots like this that are very like upbeat, good feeling type of, I don't even know. I don't want to say coming of age stories, but like, who said it? Somebody in chat. I think it might have been, it's Frank. Very sitcom, right? Makes you think of a sitcom a lot of times. Yeah, so the kills were pretty gnarly, right? Goofy, but they were gnarly. I enjoyed them. So like I said, for me, this is a 3 out of 5 creeps. I love a good horror, summer horror at the beach movie. You know, it just, I don't know. It resonates with me for some reason. Yeah, we're going to play sections of this. Just play some quick clips for you guys. Using that big fishing hook, though, it's very reminiscent of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. That's a painful one. Right? Out through the stomach, gnarly. Through the crotch and out through the stomach. You know. It's a good kill, though. So Jet loved the pitchfork kill. Dude has one of those fishing weights in his head, or pyramids, or whatever they are. So I enjoyed it. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite underrated horrors. And it feels to me sort of like the movie Intruder, right? It's in the same vein to me as Intruder and Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2, right? And they're kind of goofy, they're kind of badly written, but they're a lot of fun, you know? And all three of these movies, right, or four, Intruder, right, the one about the grocery store, this one, Mutilator, and Slumber Party 1 and 2, right? It's all kind of that same vibe, you know. I really enjoy it. And if you didn't watch it, that's okay. I mean, look at this. I mean, listen to this music, right? Like Frank said, very sitcom, right? Empty cottage sitting on the shore. Anyhow, so that was The Mutilator. That was the Cinema Creep Film Club movie of the week. If you've never seen it, you know, now you have, right? And you can just check it off your list. I like it. I watch it every other year or so, just to remind myself that, you know, it's there and it's a good time. Like I said, it's a good summer horror movie watch for me. So Jet says the acting was perfect for this movie. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't great, and we don't want great in a cheese. You are 1000% correct, right? So the thing about this movie is everything kind of matched, minus maybe that sitcom music, right? Like, there was not a standout performance in this, and there wasn't a performance that was way, like, bringing the movie down. Everything was just kind of even, you know? And I wonder if the score originally matched the title of the film, because the title of the film wasn't Mutilator, it was Fall Break. So I wonder what went into that. I wonder if they like started making a different movie and they're like, you know what, we could turn this into a horror film. And then that's when everything changed, but they had already had the score paid for, and they're like, fuck it, we're just going to use it. We've got the first part of the movie paid for and already shot, so we're just going to keep it. And then they just threw in some horror elements and then change it to The Mutilator. So, so good time. Good freaking time.
Jeez, not again.
I'm going to play a couple more clips of it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So, Silverbat, Nick, Chuck. I know, Chuck, you weren't at the last stream, I don't think. If you guys didn't watch this, like I said, it's all good. We're going to pick out another movie tonight to watch over the next week. But this one's out there. If you ever get bored,
About you.
I would check it out. So here's the pitchfork kill. Here's the one that Frank liked. So always a good time when somebody gets killed with a pitchfork. Unless you're the one getting killed. Alright, so before YouTube shuts me down, I'm going to stop clipping that so much. So Nick wants us to watch Attack of the Killer Donuts from 2017. Watch the trailer for that. I have seen this movie, but we can watch the trailer for it. If anybody has anything else they want to shout out and have us watch, let me know, and we'll watch it. Hang on, Nick. I'll bring it up in just a minute. Let me go ahead and find the trailer for it. Has anybody else seen Attack of the Killer Donuts? It is extremely ridiculous. But, you know, it's no more ridiculous than everything else that we watch here at Cinema Creep. Oh, it was Jet that liked the pitchfork kill. My bad. I know I saw that up there somewhere. Alright, guys. Check this out. This is Attack of the Killer Donuts, the trailer from 2017 that Nick wanted to share with everybody.
Can you hear that?
Sorry, I can't get rid of this shit right here. I don't know why it won't go away.
Won't hurt a bit. Your serum has contaminated the donuts and they've come to life.
Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
The donuts are alive and mutated into
killer donuts.
Let's call the police.
And tell them what? An army of killer donuts is on the loose?
Free donuts! What if it doesn't work? What if we spread it and it doesn't work? Oh, hell no! Let's do this! Do it!
Yeah, so if you like movies like we were talking about earlier, Birdemic, and movies that are made to be dumb, then you would like that movie. It's fun. It's a mindless watch, right? It's funner to watch with friends. Like, it's going to be hard for you to get into if you sit down and you watch it by yourself. I wish it was something we could watch here on Cinema Creep so we could make fun of it together. But I love watching lighthearted, dumb stuff like that every once in a while because it's just feel good, right? It's just stupid, doesn't take itself too seriously. And like I say all the time, that sometimes those dumb movies are a lot funner to talk about than the really good ones, right? Because it's just so outlandish, the ideas that some people have, and just normally the kills are even more over the top than the idea is. So they're just a good time. You know, like I said, I've seen that one, so I recommend it if you want to watch something that is just lighthearted and stupid. So like Frank says, the neon green serum will do that, you know, because it's very Reanimator, Herbert West kind of stuff. You know. So that's a good time. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share or throw out there? A trailer you want to watch? You could. Jet, that is a killer idea. So you could double feature Killer Donuts with Ginger Dead Man. You know, that would be a good time for sure. So I think that let me see here. Let me look at this poll that we put up in chat here. Now, so the poll was, do you follow Cinema Creep on Twitch? Okay. So the reason I ask is I always multi-stream this. Every stream I do, every live stream I do, I multi-stream to here and Twitch. Now, YouTube is my preferred platform. It's where I spend all my time. And I love YouTube, right? But a lot of times YouTube doesn't love Cinema Creep back, right? It's like a one-sided relationship, especially with live streaming, right? They want to constantly shut me down. and do all this crazy shit. And it gets on my nerves. I really, really value doing the Friday Night Creep Show, watching movies with you guys, whether they're old movies or new movies, it doesn't matter. But my biggest fear is this, that eventually we're going to run out of public domain movies to watch. Because this channel's a long game for me, right? Like, I don't plan on stopping this anytime soon. And let's just say, we have, how many weeks do we have left in January? We're in week 3, so let's say we have about 49 more weeks, right? That's 49 more movies that I gotta find. So my point is this, is I don't know if the Friday Night Creep Show is always going to be streamed on YouTube, right? Because I do know that I can stream on Twitch some of this copyright stuff, or stuff that isn't in public domain, because I don't normally get shut down over on Twitch. Now, maybe it just takes them a little bit longer to shut me down over there than it would YouTube. I'm not totally sure, but it's worth an experiment. So my point is this, is that maybe some weeks we do the Friday Night Creep Show like we do normally now, where it's on YouTube and it's on Twitch. And then maybe some nights where I know it's something that's going to be not in the public domain, we just do it on Twitch, right? In an effort to not have YouTube shut me down, right? So here's what I'm going to say to you guys, that if you really enjoy the Friday Night Creep Show, right, it might be worth following over on Twitch, right? And the simple fact is, because some nights it may be that if there's a movie that I really, really want to show, and we start it on YouTube and we get shut down, then we could just continue it on Twitch if everybody just jumped over, right? Because as this channel grows, right, I really want to make sure that I don't have all of these little problems to where sometimes we start out to watch a movie like this stream, and then it gets shut down, and then we have to pick something else. Because I think, maybe not you guys, because you guys are rad, but I think other people, they would come and they would start watching, and then as soon as the movie gets shut down, they leave. And then they won't come back. They'll be like, well, that channel doesn't really do it for me, because their live streams get shut down, and whatever the case may be. So, just a thought. You guys can do it or not do it. That's up to you. But you'll see the link in the comments every so often. You just click through that. It'll take you over to the Cinema Creep Twitch. And might be worth checking out, just for the simple fact that we're going to see how the live streams play out over the course of 2025. So Jets and Frank are talking about the score again. I don't think, Frank, they picked it as a joke. I think I honestly just think they don't know what movie they were going to make, because they had that score and then they had the different title. And Jet, I 1000% agree with you. If you don't have a score that matches the movie, it can really, really kill it. And you shouted out Suspiria, which Suspiria is an amazing example, because Suspiria, right, the score is done by the band Goblin, who is like sort of like a metal band. And Suspiria has like a lot of like guitar riffs and like rock music, and normally when you think of movies having a soundtrack like that, it doesn't really translate well, especially a movie that is not based around music, right? Like Suspiria, but it works really, really well for Suspiria somehow, and Goblin, that same band that did the Suspiria soundtrack, they also did the soundtrack for Inferno, and I think they did it for what's the other one? Oh man, why am I drawing a blank? It's the one with the monkey and Jennifer Gardner. It's such a good movie. I'm drawing a blank on it. It's Creepers, but I don't remember the actual other title for it. Phenomena. And they also did the score for that, and that is sick, right? So it's like you watch these old westerns, right? Sergio Leone, right? And movies like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and stuff like that. You know, the scores back then were insane, right? And you watch somebody like Quentin Tarantino, who's a master filmmaker, right? And the scores that he puts in his movie, whether they're original music or they're soundtracks, you know, songs taken from artists and injected into his film, right? He matches up the right music to elevate the visuals. And that's a whole freaking skill set and artistry in itself, you know. My favorite film composer is probably Bernard Herrmann, who did the score did Twisted Nerve, right, for Psycho, but also did the Taxi Driver score, among others. But I think when it comes to all around, I think Bernard Herrmann is like exceptional. A lot of people obviously default to Hans Zimmerman, who did the Christopher Nolan stuff. You know, he did Interstellar, which is one of the biggest, I guess, or most popular scores, and Inception, right, which that is got to be the most popular score modern day, right? But I had a phase, right, in college. I took a film music class, and I got deep into like film scoring, you know. And I've always really enjoyed putting little pieces together, right? Little pieces of music. So I would score my own films and short films, and like the little stuff like the Creepshow intro and the Gruesome Game Night intro, right? Piecing that music together myself. So I really enjoy making little sections of music, whether they're scores or just soundtracks, right, to help elevate the visual. So I could go on and on about that stuff because it really does interest me. So if you're out there in chat and you care, right, like who's your favorite film composer? Do you guys have a favorite? And what is your favorite film score of all time, whether it's a soundtrack or original music? Do you guys have one? So I think what I want to do is, before we finish up stream tonight, right, I think I want to find us something short to watch. So Nick says favorite score is Star Wars. That is the same guy that did Jaws, right? That's John Williams, right? Yeah, John Williams, I'm pretty sure, did the Star Wars score. Does anybody out there know off the top of their head? I would have known this, like, off the top of my head back in the day. Let's see. John Williams did Jurassic Park. Yep, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Superman. Maybe didn't do Jaws. I thought he did Jaws as well. Oh, geez, come on. I'm going to go down to composer. Right here. All right, Indiana Jones. Let's see. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, The Post, Star Wars, Last Jedi, Rogue One, The Force Awakens, Lego Star Wars, The Book Thief. Let's see here. Superman 2, Munich, Memoirs of a Geisha, War of the Worlds, Revenge of the Sith, Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban, Ford, Attack of the Clones, The Patriot, all these big movies, right? You got a ton of stuff. Phantom Menace, Jurassic Park from 97, Schindler's List from 93, Jurassic Park from 93, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Gilligan's Island, the TV series, right? Hook from 1991. You guys remember that movie? The original Home Alone, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Let's see. Witches of Eastwick, E.T., Dracula from 79, Jaws 2, Close Encounters, Dracula from 79, Jaws 2, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Black Sunday from 1977, a lot. Chat, if I'm lagging out, my internet is still spotty. So sorry if there's a little bit of lag. Internet's been kind of crazy tonight. So Jet loves John Carpenter. So John Carpenter, obviously, you know, is again amazing. You know, and that's his main focus these days is scoring, right, and creating music. So if you keep up with John Carpenter news, which I used to years ago, he pretty much, you know, just works on music these days. You know. Halloween score is a good one, except the score with those cops and the one. Yeah, the oh gosh, let's look it up. Hang on. Halloween, is that 4 or 5? Let's look it up. Halloween 5. These guys here. Hang on. I don't think it's this scene, but here's the cops. We'll find the correct scene in just a second.
That sounded different.
Yeah, we never did stuff like that when we were kids.
No, we were normal.
It is a scene.
Hey, fella! Over here! Hey, come on. Enough's enough, all right?
Hey, somebody can get hurt with that thing.
Hey, somebody's gonna get hurt with that thing.
Unbelievable. No respect for authority anymore.
It's the parents.
Yeah.
Hey! All right, punk. I'm through fooling around.
Oh, God! Help me! Please, help me! Help me!
Well, that wasn't the music, but it's those cops. Halloween 5. Yeah, it's definitely 5. Yeah, so sorry for the lag, chat. Like I said, the internet tonight here at my place is just crap. And it's because we have, I don't know, I guess it's the wind. It's the cold and the wind is just out there. And it's probably blowing trees up against something, and it's screwing everything up. So sorry for the lag. It's unfortunate, you know. But it's a struggle. Struggle as a streamer. Sometimes you have that lag. Sometimes, you know, you just get shut down. Here's another shot of those cops. I've always thought they were super goofy too, Frank. Right here. This has got to be what you're talking about.
All clear.
Nothing above, nothing below.
What about Max?
Adobe, right?
They went hard as hell with the clown music.
It's not happening to me. Max! Max, what have you done? I'm so embarrassed.
It's what we're here for. Rescue cats.
Find dogs.
That's a job.
And we love it.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were thinking, why they went with those fucking sound effects in a Halloween movie, but they did. You know. All right, Frank. So, yeah, so I just played that scene. So you might be a little bit behind on the stream. I don't know with the lag if everybody's caught up to current. You might have to hit the live button again if it was lagging for you. But that scene is absolutely wild. I forgot all about that. But yeah, forgot all about it. All right, so let me see what else there is to watch here real quick before we wrap up the stream tonight and we start searching for a movie. Is Wolfman already out at theaters? Does anybody know? Let me look that up real quick. Because I'm seeing freaking reviews for it on YouTube already. I thought it wasn't out for a couple more days. Oh, I guess it's already out. Let me see. Is it playing near me? It is playing near me. It's playing 2 blocks over from the house. I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters, though, with everybody being disgustingly sick. What's up, Memory? Glad you made it.
Hail to the king, baby.
So yeah, so we're just talking about film scores. Who's our favorite film composer of all time? So I think so far we had John Williams. A lot of the chat agreed on John Williams. Jet said John Carpenter. And I'm saying Bernard Herrmann, who's responsible for movies like Psycho and Taxi Driver. Michael Myers versus Film Crew. But yeah, so we were talking about your haunted house earlier. Memory, because we were talking about if you knew a house was haunted, would you buy it? You know, if you got it for free, right? And you know, made us think of you and your haunted house. So as I was talking a little bit earlier, I'm trying to decide 2025 if I'm going to continue on Friday Night Creep shows on YouTube or just Twitch strictly, or doing them simultaneously, right? Because YouTube shut me down again with the first movie we tried to play tonight that was in the public domain. So just trying to figure out what that looks like for 2025. But I'll let you guys know what I decide, you know. Or if we just switch it up every other Friday or something, I'll let you know. Because I gotta do something where the streams aren't partially getting shut down and we can actually watch the movies that we set out to watch. Or I just need to figure out how, like, YouTube channels get licenses. Because if I could just pay to have, like, license to a category, I would do that. You know? Or to, like, a library of movies. I just don't even know how that goes about. So, like, if I look at other YouTube channels, right? So like this one, I think this is one that Nick has shouted out a couple times. Creature Features, right? Like these guys, right? And if you get on YouTube, there's all types of movies that are uploaded in full. So they have like all kinds of like stuff on here, which a lot of it is actually licensed stuff. Like Night Flyer, The Hitcher, The Stuff, right? Strays, Bride of Reanimator, stuff that if I played, I would get shut down. Now, my question is this. Surely the fees that they're paying can't be that expensive, right? Not on a channel with 351,000 subscribers. Now, if you look here, it says films are licensed and fees are paid to the appropriate rights holder. So my thing is this, is how do I pay those fees? How do I pay the rights holders to get access to a library of movies. If I could do that, chat, if anybody knows how to do that, I would most likely do that, you know? So if I could figure this out, this is the other way to go about this. Because like I said, Friday Night Creepshows are near and dear to my heart. So Nick says there's a real haunted house in Redlands, California called Barton Mansion. Only lived 3 miles from it in the 90s. New house feels empty, but one in Canas Quay. Am I saying that right? Canas Quay was like 130 years old and was very active. Quiet. Lived in an old house 30 plus years. So you watched Terrifier for the first time last night. So you watched the first one. Watch 1, 2, and 3. Memory, those are all... They're all worth watching. Number 2 being my favorite. Number 2 being my favorite. So, maybe, and here's something that I've talked to probably Frank about, because Frank's been around Cinema Creep, Friday Night Creepshows the longest. Maybe Nick as well. I've mentioned this. So, as this channel grows, right? As this channel grows and I'm able to do more things with it, right? I would love to build out a set, right? And make the Friday Night Creepshows more of a hosted show, right? So if you look stuff like, I assume what these guys do here, right? Like with the dressing up and having these like special events and stuff and actually hosting the movies in between the movie, having like these little skits and stuff. That's where I want this to go one day, right? For the Friday Night Creepshows. So that's the goal eventually, is to do something like that. Maybe get more characters involved and make it a whole thing, you know. Maybe something to the effect of The Last Drive-In or Svengoolie or something like that. Not saying necessarily right now that I would dress up. Maybe I would. But just making it a whole thing. So maybe as the channel grows, that is the direction I would like to head, is like maybe get out of this studio space and build out something for that. So just keep that in mind, you know, as we move through the Cinema Creep timeline. That is something that I'm thinking about. How can I amp this up to the next level? So something I would like to do. So, chat, I think what I want to do is let's pick us a movie. Let's pick us a movie and see what we want to watch over the week. Because does anybody have any ideas of anything that they would want to show? Let me see here. I'm going to bring up Tubi. If you guys have access to bring up Tubi while you're watching, do that and see as we scroll through if there's anything that you guys would like to see or share with everybody. So I picked the last one, picked The Mutilator. Memory, we all watched The Mutilator and talked about it. Yeah, I got to get the Cinema Creep Castle. So Nick says The Hitcher. The original or the remake? Nick, what are you thinking? I'm going to scroll through this. I'm not against The Hitcher by any means. I'm going to scroll through this, and if anybody has any ideas, let's shout it out. So The Hitcher is our contender as of right now. But I would love it if we watch something that either most of us haven't seen or all of us haven't seen. That'll make it the most fun. All right, so I'm going to scroll through Tubi. You got for the week. Nick says the original Hitcher. Frank, you got any ideas? Jet, Memory, anything you guys would like to watch and come back and talk about? Oh, let me see. What is The Slayer? 1982. So I Drink Your Blood is a good one. I think we watched that on stream. I think that was one of the first Friday night creep shows we did. I think it was. The Slayer. I want to look at this and see what this is. Has anybody seen this from 1982? See. Two couples become stranded on a rugged island and are haunted by a supernatural beast drawn to the wife of one of the couples who dreams of its killing. Is this the same thing? Because this says a vacationing painter senses a sinister presence in paradise. Is she losing her mind, or are her nightmares of a demonic killer coming to life? Wow, look at that thing. It's gnarly looking. Hitcher 2 came out in 2003. Ghost reminds you of A Portrait of Ginny rather than Exorcist. Okay. We're going to do this, and we're going to say that we are born in 1930. Let's watch.
The four of you.
We'll watch the trailer for The Slayer just to see what it looks like. What we should start doing, honestly, during these live streams is picking what we're going to stream the following week.
To see may shock you. It may frighten you more than you've ever been frightened before. Don't worry. It's only a maddening, horrifying nightmare. Or is it?
What are you gonna do?
Fire some flares. Did you give her the pills like I told you?
Yo, this looks gnarly.
Maybe it's not a nightmare after all.
It's just some phenobarb. No.
It's for your own good, Kay.
No, no!
Feel better after you get some sleep.
No! You're
The Slayer.
There's nothing up here.
Are they really alone? Or is there an unwelcome guest? Is this a nightmare? Or is it the fears we all have when we're alone in the dark? And if it's only a nightmare, why is everybody dead? Prepare yourself, because you will never want to be alone again. Prepare yourself for The Slayer.
Okay, so that looked kind of sick, right? What do you guys think of that one? Slay, killer, slay. Yeah. Well, that could be a contender, right? It's on Tubi. It's free. Let's continue looking. Under the Bed. Let's look at Under the Bed. Was that on Tubi? This one here. So Under the Bed from 2013. The childhood fears of countless generations become a living suburban nightmare when two brothers decide to battle the creature under their bed. Okay. Let's look up the IMDb. And we can check out the trailer real quick. We'll watch part of it. The Yabos.
I'm sorry about, what happened.
Hey, Kara, gonna marry that nut job?
You better keep him away from matches. So it's true that they took you away to the prison for the criminally insane? Everybody's talking about it. They say you disappeared after your mom died.
And tried to burn the house down.
Do you two really want to know? The fire took down most of our house. Not a human. Do you think that you've been seeing something like this?
At night.
Something that you can't see and you can't read about. You can only hear about it or learn about it as it attacks you.
Polly, if you're sleeping, wake up.
We're gonna have to get closer than we've ever been before, sooner or later.
What's this stuff? Fog?
Yeah, is this some kind of a joke?
Knock it off.
All right, so that's what this one basically is. Under the Bed. So once you guys out there in chat decide what it is you would like to see, I'm down for any of it. Is this? Oh, I guess I'm not in horror. Or maybe I am. Guess I am. I just don't see how Sex Down Under is a horror movie, but who knows? Maybe it is. That's why I thought I wasn't in the horror section. All right. But maybe that's scary. There is a lot of poisonous stuff out that way. Snakes on a Train. Frank said, Silver, were you bummed that Nosferatu didn't fly any planes? That's funny. Like Night Flyer. Yeah, this isn't all horror stuff. It can't be. I mean, the Eagles live under the sea. What is happening here? Oh, okay. I wasn't. I was just on the front page. All right. So, I mean, I can pick us a movie if you guys prefer. Let me see. I think that we should watch. Let me see here. I'm going to find something. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to put out 3 different ideas, and you guys pick. I'm just going to pick some things at random, and we'll go off basically the names unless you've seen them, right? So, here's one right here. Creepazoids from 1987. So Creepazoids. Just give me 1 second, chat. Creepazoids. We'll say... what else did you guys say? Blood Diner. I'm pretty sure I've seen that, but not enough to remember anything about it. Or we'll try The Slayer. Okay, here's 3 options. You guys vote on chat and let me know which one. So Creepazoids. After a nuclear war, a band of deserters flee into the desert only to find an underground lab where a mysterious fluid creates bloodthirsty beasts. Could be awesome, could be incredibly terrible. But you guys figure out which ones and vote over in the chat and let me know what you think. So, last thing I want to do, Creeps, is I want to... Let's talk a little bit about what we want to watch next week. So me, I've seen Blood Diner. I know if I look at it, I know that I've probably would remember it as soon as I start watching it. I've just seen so much stuff that and all of them start blending together because all the names are similar, and then I start watching them, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this. So I'm cool with whatever you guys pick. You pick one of the 3, and we'll watch whatever it is. And I think that's the best way we'll start doing it, is we'll just start calling out 3 different things or whatever and putting a poll, and then you guys vote, and I'm good with whatever you guys pick. So when it comes to movies, right, that you guys are looking forward to seeing, is there anything on your watch list? You know, so Wolfman is on mine, right? The Wolfman movie that came out, that's on mine. I watched Nosferatu before I started this live stream. That was the big one for me. So there's a video that will be coming out on that. Maybe sometime next week. Should be next week, right? Obviously, I work the next 3 days. I don't have time to shoot it from now until then, but we can watch the trailer for Creepazoids if you want before you guys vote real quick. And also Jet. I was actually going to put Sweeney Todd on for the main movie for the live stream tonight. So we can watch Sweeney Todd next week if you guys want. The original, right? So the original Sweeney Todd, black and white. What year is that from, Jet? I can't remember. Was that... It was from the 30s, right? Give me just a second, chat. $1928. So, now I know this is in public domain, right? The original Sweeney Todd. A man dreams he is the demon barber who cuts sailors' throats for jewels and uses the corpse for pies. Right, so if you've seen the Johnny Depp one, it's based off of this story. We can watch this next Friday night. I believe this is a silent film, though. And that's why I opted out of it tonight. Now, we have watched 1 or 2 silent films on the Friday night creep shows before. And if you guys don't mind those, then that opens up a lot more that we can watch here. Let me see. Hang on one second. So if you can access this on YouTube, then you could watch Blood Diner if that's what we decide to watch, Silverbat. Here's a link to it in full on YouTube. So if that's what you guys decide to watch, there's a free link on YouTube for it as well. All right, let's watch the trailer for Creepazoids real quick. $1987. Okay. This is Creepazoids. Let's continue to say we were born in 1920s.
The four of you together.
Once this ad's done. Okay, so if you can't watch The Slayer, then we might just have to watch what everybody can see by default.
A desperate band of nuclear survivors stumble upon shelter where they seek protection from deadly radioactive rain.
But the suffers upstairs brought from the radiation. I mean, we got it made here.
But their dreams of safety turn into a nightmare of horror when they are confronted by the Creepazoids.
Alright, so this looks...
Even if you kill them, they're still deadly. Creepazoids.
So that looks like it could be fun. You know, it's nuclear waste monsters, essentially. So that could be fun as well. So that's Creepazoids. So it looks like right now it's either Creepazoids, Blood Diner, or The Slayer. I think, Jet, you said you couldn't find The Slayer. So let me see. Let me see if it's on YouTube in full. So it's on YouTube in full. A lot of these movies, these older ones, guys, if you just type in the title and then you put full movie, then you'll find them on YouTube. Because, you know, YouTube only likes to screw Cinema Creep, it seems. While a lot of these other channels, they just have freaking channels full of I think I was saving it in case we wanted to watch it as a Cinema Creep film club movie, but I have not. So it does look terrible. It does look terrible. Cocaine Bear, yeah, Cocaine Bear was fun. Cocaine Bear was a little bit better than Meth Gator. Meth Gator I thought was going to be amazing, but Meth Gator turned out to be just really let me down. You know, I was really stoked on it. But yeah. So, yeah, so Sweeney Todd will be the Friday Night Creepshow main event for next week. So that's what we're going to stream. I think that'll be a good one. Like I said, I was thinking about playing that tonight anyways. So, Frank, I wish you knew. If I could, I would, you know. Just the sheer amount of money that I'm willing to invest in Cinema Creep is crazy, you know. So, you know, if I could figure out how to at least do something, you know, I wish it was as easy as, oh, I have a premium Tubi subscription or whatever the case may be. I can play all these movies, you know, but they're kicking my ass. You can still watch Meth Gator. You know, I just wish it was better than it was. They had such a gnarly idea, and it just didn't really, you know, I don't know. It missed the mark. Let's look up how to get rights to stream movies. I've looked this up before. But buy movie rights online. 100,000 hours of films and shows. Let's see. What does that cost? Global movie rights. Let's just click get. Oh, come on. I'm not doing all this. Not doing all of that. Let me go back. Our extensive. Let me see. Can I use content? This says you can't use it for right here. At the moment, our service doesn't cover the rights for hosting content on YouTube channels or social. Sorry about that. You can however use the content for marketing purposes. So this is not where I need to be. They're probably like, yeah, $10,000 a movie. Let's see. Let's see if I can find out any info here. Royalty-free content. This is outrageous. I have no clue, guys. No clue how I would go about this. The Room was a spectacle. How to get licensing. I'm just doing some random searches real quick, chat. Directly contact the copyright holder of the film. Best done with an entertainment lawyer. It's freaking ridiculous. Let's go here and see what this says. Licensing agency, Swank Motion Pictures or Criterion. It's a pain in my ass, chat. So people really don't get what a bad movie is. It's simple. If it's boring, it's bad. Yeah, but you know, it goes back to one of those things I think where it's subjective, right? So what's bad to you could be great to me and vice versa, you know. The Bloody Valentine remake, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You know, I think it's just as good as the original, you know. Cocaine Shark any day over some stupid drama. Yeah. Yeah, Cocaine Shark sounds more up my alley than something like, you know, The Bourne Identity. I'd probably watch Cocaine Shark before I watched any of the Fast and Furious movies. And it's not because I have anything against those. It's just Cocaine Shark sounds so much more exciting to me than watching dudes drive cars around. Okay, so it looks like Blood Diner is our winning movie. So I think that's what we're going to watch. That's going to be our Cinema Creep Film Club movie of the week. So we're going to watch Blood Diner. And if you've already seen it, then bring your expertise, you know, next Friday. You know, I'd love to hear what you like about it, what you hate about it, you know. And if you haven't seen it, it's a good chance to get that one crossed off your list. Like I said, I've seen it before. I know I have. I just don't remember much about it. So it's one of those staple horror movies. So it'll be interesting for me to revisit it and see what I remember about it. I'm stoked on it. So that's a good pick. Whoever threw Blood Diner out there, I believe it was Nick. And then next Friday, our main event will be it will be Sweeney Todd from 1928. So other than that, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to this week movie wise is I need to watch Heretic. Heretic looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Has anybody seen that one yet? The one with Hugh Grant? I've been wanting to see it since it came out. I just been putting it off. So, Heretic is one I'm going to be watching. So if I get time to watch anything new that's not related to the channel, right? That's what I'm going to watch probably. And I think that is for rent, or you can buy it on Prime. I don't know how much. We can look it up real quick. I really don't want to have to spend $25 on another movie, but let's see what it's going for. Okay, so $6 Amazon Prime. $6 to rent it, or yeah, $6 to rent, or you can buy it for $20. So this one I'm definitely looking forward to still. So I'm going to watch that one. Like I said, if I get a chance to watch anything else that's not related. Time has been a little bit full for me these last couple weeks, so it's been hard to watch a lot of stuff. Just rearranging a lot of time. So with that, guys, last couple things I want to talk about is so shout out to Nick. Nick is the sole owner of the most Cinema Creep coffee mugs in the world. I just want you to know, Nick, you hold that title. The most Cinema Creep coffee mugs in the world. He's been buying these, right? Say Cinema Creep on one side, have the TV logo on the other side. And so, Nick, since this is my main place I conversate with you, I am going to, like I told you, I'm going to send you a free mug, a special one. But also, with that, I think, Nick, you may have mentioned something about making Cinema Creep blankets. I'm going to get on that as well. So I'll let you guys know when I release some new stuff on the store, which will hopefully be this week. As soon as I get off stream, I'm going to finish out my Black Cab film review. I don't know if you guys ever watched Black Cab yet with Nick Frost. I've talked about it a little bit on the channel. I did have a review for that already shot. I just got to really put some final touches on it and upload it. It's kind of short, but that's really kind of all the movie needs is a short review on it. I also have a couple more that are shot that I've got to just finish editing and upload. So there will be some reviews coming. And then, you know, I highly, highly recommend you guys, watching The Substance if you get time. And Silverbat, here's this link right here. You can watch this on YouTube in full. Blood Diner. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube in full with that link right there. Yeah, so he does have the world's largest supply of Cinema Creep coffee mugs. He's got more than I've got. But yeah, so like I said, for everybody else that's on the channel, Patreon. If you want one of these stickers, go over there, send me a message, and I'll send one out to you. Like I said, I've sent a couple all around the United States last week and some to South America. So kind of sick that these are going to be out there in South America somewhere. So stoked on that. Yeah, like I said, any of these movies that you watch, especially from the 80s, if you just type in whatever the movie's name is and then full movie, a lot of times it'll be on YouTube if you can't find it on Tubi. That helps me a lot too when I'm looking for movies. And sometimes I don't even want to go to Tubi or whatever, and I'd rather just watch it on YouTube since I'm already there, you know. $20 mugs by summertime. Yeah, like I said, you're just going to have to be the sponsor of the Friday Night Creep Show. Because it does help. It does help. It helps me purchase some of these movies, like Nosferatu. But it does help. Definitely appreciate it. So, like I said, Sweeney Todd, 1928. That's going to be the next movie from Friday Night Creep Show. And Blood Diner is going to be our Cinema Creep Film Club movie. And with that, is there anything that you guys would like to see me review, trailer-wise, on the channel, movie-wise, to make full reviews of, just regular videos, not on live stream? If so, feel free to let me know, because I'm down for those requests as well. And with that, I'm stoked on Blood Diner. Like I said, I feel like I've seen this, but maybe not. You know what, Silverbat? Probably don't use that link I sent you. It's a good link, but I think it's I think it is people doing commentary over the full movie. So hang on, let me find you a better one. Now that I'm scrolling through it. Give me a minute. I'm looking for... Because I think they play the movie, but I think they talk over the top of it. And that's not what you want to watch. Okay, hang on. Back to the drawing board here. Hold on, I'm looking. I'm looking. If anybody out there else can find a link to the movie that's free, feel free to throw it in chat. Well, or tell me where I can find it at. I don't know if you guys can post links in the chat or not. I don't know if I'm seeing it. I'll figure it out. You're definitely not being a pain. I'll figure it out. Whether or not I I probably won't be able to get a workaround for it until the middle of the week because of work, but I'll get a workaround, and I'll message you something either through email or I'll message you over on the Patreon and send you a working link for it. I'll probably just have to pirate something. So I'll figure it out. It's that damn Australia versus America stuff. You know, it's not all the same things aren't available. It's so crazy to me. I don't understand why that's a thing. Unless you have like a VPN or something, then it's just going to be probably like that most weeks, to where I have something but you don't necessarily have it. But yeah, I'll get a workaround, but it probably won't be till Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll let you know for sure. I just have to sit down and literally probably screen record the movie. So I'll probably just do that when I watch it and then download it and then upload it. I don't know how freaking long that's going to take, and then send it to you. Now I wonder if it's on Amazon. Let's look. I think it's only on Tubi right now for streaming. Yeah, it's not even available to rent on Prime right now. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just screen record it when I sit down and watch it. And then I'll send you a copy or something. Yeah, I'm a pretty big paid as well, to myself and to everybody around me. So you're not alone in it. So, let me see. We've been live for 3 hours and 14 minutes. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and call it, chat, because I'm running out of interesting things to talk about. Now, as we get back into the consistency of the channel, I'll get some more things slotted up. Like I said, I've just got to sit down and I've got to really plan out the streams. I think I'm going to be better at segmenting the show this year, right? So what I mean by that is the Friday night creep shows, I think I'm going to segment part of it as our film club of the week movie, and then I think I will segment the main event, and I'm going to figure it out to where it's more fluid and less all over the place. But yeah, so I appreciate all of you guys coming out as always. You know, Memory coming in here at the tail end, Silverbat, Frank, Nick, Jet, and anybody else, Chuck, if you're still around. You know, I am kind of tired, to be honest with you, but it's been a long day. But yeah, so I appreciate all of you guys as always. You know, and I lost my train of thought. I had something, and then it went. You know, so yeah, but just there it went. It went again. Yeah, it's time for me to get out of here, guys. I appreciate all of y'all, and I'll be back on Tuesday. So Tuesday live stream. We're gonna be playing Resident Evil 7 again. So if you like watching gameplay, I will be here live on Tuesday, Friday night creep show, and hopefully I have some videos in between. But I appreciate all of you guys for coming and hanging out as always. Stay creepy,